Hello and good morning.
Good morning. This is Michelle Rapkin.
Hi, Michelle. How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Fantastic. I love how strong your voice is.
Thank you. You've got a great voice, too.
Oh, that's just several years of people telling me how to speak. That's what that is. It has nothing to do with the real me.
Aw, I'm not sure I believe that.
Hey, we're going to talk about a real subject today that a lot of people like to shove away and kind of just hide. And I'm so glad that you have enough strength inside your mind, body, and soul to come forward and talk and bring this out here to work, because there's a lot of people that need some healing, and this is one of those books.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Was it difficult to write? Because I had a heart attack at the age of 47, and to write about that is still a big battle.
Going through cancer 3 times was hard, and but writing the book was not hard. But I'll tell you why. I was first diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma out of the blue 22 years ago, and I'm in the book business. So as soon as I left my doctor's office in shock, I went straight to the bookstore, to the cancer section, to find a book that would just tell me, what do I do now? How do I find an oncologist? What questions do I ask? Like, how did I end up on Planet Cancer? And there were a ton of memoirs and a ton of very specific, deep medical books about particular cancers, but there was not one book that was just a helpful companion from someone who had walked that walk. And 3 cancers later, I feel like I felt like I could write that book, and so it might be there for someone else who was just diagnosed. So it wasn't hard for me to write. First of all, I just entered my 5th year of remission. So I was in my 4th year of remission as I wrote it. And honestly, I just hope that it helps people.
Yeah. And in reading it, the one thing that I really felt very close to is it's like, this isn't just for cancer patients. This is also for caretakers as well. It's for people who have things in their life that could be a cancer in their life, but it's how to move through that mountain.
Absolutely. A friend of mine's husband is a cardiologist, and I gave them an early copy of the book, and he called me and he said, this book is for people who have had heart issues. Yep. And so that's really true. It's very transferable, except for the nitty-gritty, how to deal with chemo side effects kind of information. But it's got a lot of overview that is really about the choices that we can make and the power that we can still claim in our lives and as we pursue better health.
How did you find your calm? Because once you hear that word, that C word as they call it, it's like people will either become horribly terrified or others just find the calm. Because I know that when they said, that I was having the heart attack, the first thing I did was I went into meditation because I knew I needed to find calm.
Wow. Oh, I'm so impressed. It took me a while to find calm. There were 2 weeks that I had to have more tests to determine. They had a hard time diagnosing. So there was that 2-week waiting period. And to be honest with you, all I did was close my office door and Google. And the only good thing I did was I made sure to Google sources that I knew were reliable and authoritative. That's you can get the best information on the internet, but you can also get, pretty bad information. So that was the one good thing I did. But the calm came. Well, it came gradually. It came actually after the diagnosis, because at least now I knew where we were and where we needed to go. So my faith is really important to me. I pray a lot and just meditate and realize that, so one of my favorite books is Viktor Frankl's Man's Meaning for Life. Mm-hmm. That's not it. I can't believe I forgot the title. And he was in the concentration camps, and he was a very eminent psychologist, and he said, there's one thing that every human being still has in their power when everything else has been taken away, and that is the power. Man's Search for Meaning. That's the book. That is the power to choose how we will respond to our circumstance.
That's living in the presence of now, then.
Correct.
And being in that presence of now, I mean, that's because I really, the goal is to stay right here in the now. Don't put too much energy in the future, because someone's going to get in the way and change it. And that past is a story that we all want to rewrite and rewrite and rewrite. So for you to be in the presence and knowing that people are going to read this book and they're going to change their own personal lives, that is a beautiful place to be, Michelle.
Oh, thank you. You just gave me the chills. Well, I'll tell you, you were talking about worry, and I can be a worrier, but somewhere along this journey, I had this thought, which I really appreciated. I would worry about so many things, many of which, or maybe most of which, weren't even going to happen. And I thought to myself, I'm spending so much time and energy worrying.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to do two things. Today, if I can do something concrete to prevent or alleviate what I'm worried about, do it. And secondly, then make an appointment for 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Make a worry appointment. And if I think about my worries the rest of the day after I've done the thing that I could actually do, put it off till tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And that really helped me.
I love
it.
That.
Still helps me.
I love that. See, the everyday average person needs to do something like that. They need to go on a transition walk as well to understand the emotional changes that we go through. Not daily. How about minute by minute we go through changes?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Minute by minute.
Are you going to put this on a tour of any type in the way that where you can go out and speak one-on-one and have real honest-to-God conversations with those that read the book?
Well, I would love to. I am working towards that in a way. I would love to do that. If there were any venues that would have me, I would be there in a heartbeat, and will be there in a heartbeat, because, I feel that also companionship is part of a solution to many problems. And if someone can just see or talk to somebody who's been there and who is in the middle still of this, life is a continuum, and I'm in remission now, and I'm so grateful for it. But I'm the person that all of those minutes and years have created me to be. And so I try very much. The minute I hear anyone who I know or know of has an illness, if it's at all appropriate, I contact them, or I tell our mutual acquaintance that I would love to talk to them if they were at all interested.
That is so interesting that you bring that up, because this is the second conversation within an hour that I've had with somebody that talked about companionship. The other person said that all it takes is 8 minutes for someone to feel like they've been accepted by a friend or a family member. If we could just dedicate 8 minutes a day to give to somebody else, it would change everything.
Wow. That's so interesting. I would venture to guess now with texting, we could do it to some degree in less than 8 minutes. One thing that I talk about in the book is there's a section for well-meaning friends and family who really want to help and just don't know what to do or what to say.
Yeah.
And one of the things I say is just don't disappear. Maybe you feel awkward about even talking about it. Just text the person and say, I hear you're going through something rough. I'm here if you need me.
Yeah.
that alone, I think, would bring some consolation.
Do you put focus in on when the cancer patient shuts off their own world and won't let us in? They've got to communicate as well as things get a little bit darker and a little bit meaner.
Yeah. I do. For one thing, in fact, I think there's a part in the book where I say, absolutely, don't shut down.
Yeah.
And it's so tempting to shut down. You just want to, in the beginning especially, or when you're exhausted from all of the medical appointments and treatments. But, I think that one of the most valuable insights that I've had and shared in the book is that, I felt so powerless to begin with in so many ways. And early on, I had this thought, which is, Michelle, you're not powerless. You were just, the minute you were diagnosed, you were named CEO of a major health concern, and that's yours. Yeah. You are leading an organization. You've got to hire professionals. You've got to do your homework, be a good boss. And you have to be engaged to do that. And it's hard to be engaged constructively if you're angry.
Yeah.
And shut down.
From one writer to another writer here, and I'm a daily writer. Are you journaling?
I have journaled almost, well, I've gone for long months without journaling, but I have a bookcase full of journals from the time I was 18 years old, and that's more than half a century ago.
I love it.
Yes, the answer is yes.
I love it. Yeah, because we're here for a purpose and a reason, but those that are going to be 2 generations away are going to ask, well, what was she like? I'm so happy that you've put your words on a page, because someone's going to say, here's what she was like. Read it and learn.
Oh, thank you. Well, and I do use pencil and pen and paper.
Good. We need to. That's becoming a lost art. Penmanship.
Yeah. And also, electronic files. My career has been as a book editor, and there was a time when Hemingway's original manuscripts, well, even now you can find original manuscripts of writers and see how they changed between their first draft and the final book. But I don't know if there are many of those that haven't been erased in our files, our email files at this point.
Wow. Michelle, where can people go to find out more about you? And because I want them to really get into your story and learn from it.
Oh, thank you. Well, I am on Facebook and Instagram, Michelle Rapkin, Rapkin. I wish I had given my email in the book. Could I give my email?
Please.
Okay, my email is mrapkin at mac.com, and really I answer every email that I get.
God bless you. Oh my God, you're so fantastic. Please come back to this show anytime in the future, Michelle. Let this platform be a place where you can speak out.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. What an amazing service you do for your listeners, and I just appreciate that. I may take you up on it. Please do. The door is always open. Hey, if Joe Elliott from Def Leppard can come onto this show 9 times, you've got 8 more opportunities to get back here. All right, that works for me. Thank you so much.
You be brilliant today, okay?
Okay, you already are. Bye.